So it's that time of the season again where my moderators just did their top 5 designer and niche lists, which if you guys want to go check out those videos, I did them in the last 2 weeks, where my 3 moderators give me their top 5 designer fragrances for the winter and top 5 niche fragrances for the winter. Well, now it's my turn. So today I'm going to be going through and talking about some runners-up and my top 5 designer fragrances for the winter season. And then in the next few days, I have my niche list set up as well. So that's what we're talking about today. So without further ado, let's get it. What's going on, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another fragrance video. On this fine day, we're going to be talking about and doing a follow-up to my moderators videos. So if you're new to my channel, we started this back in the fall, where my moderators, I have 4 moderators, including Jeff from SoCal Sense, but the 3 moderators are the ones who do it. Mo, Hamzat, and Newt. They give me their top 5 for that season, designer and niche, and then I put them in a video, and then I rank which ones I like the best from those lists. Then I follow it up and I do my own. And so they just finished up their winter ones, and so I did the videos for that. And now we're going to be getting into 2 different videos. The one today is going to be my top 5 designer fragrances for the winter, and then we're going to get into the spring and then the summer and stuff like that. But anyway, I also have my niche ones coming in a few days as well, top 5 niche fragrances for the winter. So I did want to give a few runners up and also let you guys know that I am not going to be including discontinued fragrances, because if I would, there'd be a bunch in this, like Boss Bottled, Eau de Parfum Intense, Issey Miyake's L'Odyssey Noir Ombre. Those would be in it. But I'm not including any discontinued fragrances. So we're going to get into the runners-up. I have 3 runners-up here. This one, it's not discontinued, even though a lot of people think it is. It's just limited stock, but I think it was in my fall top 5. I just didn't want to put it in the top 5 this time. It is Prada L'Homme Intense. Really good fragrance. Prada L'Homme Intense. I got this for $46 on Nordstrom Rack 2 years ago. I mean, that was just a lucky... I need to start checking Nordstrom Rack again. I completely forgot about that place this year. I've been looking so many other places I forgot about there. But anyway, Prada L'Homme Intense. It is an ambery leather iris fragrance. So it's in the realm of the Dior Homme Intenses and the Valentino Uomo Intenses and all that stuff. It is iris dominant, but this one, it has a nice ambery sweetness to it that smoothens out that iris. If you're not a huge iris fan, this one is very nicely downplayed from that amber. Then you also do have a nice, almost sweet and spicy tone underneath it. And then you have this nice soft leather that's floating through the fragrance that is absolutely beautiful. This is one of the best fragrances in my collection, so that's why it was on fall and the runners-up for winter. I believe it was like number 2 in fall. But Prada L'Homme Intense, it is a night out beast. It is a cold weather beast, even though I think you can still wear it during the cooler nights during the spring and summer. I would definitely put this in the fall and winter lists. It's fantastic. But that, again, that's a runner-up. The next one is another runner-up. This is Mercedes-Benz Club Black. You can find this for $46 on Joma Shop right now, and it's one of the best creamy vanilla balsamic fragrances out there. If you don't like powdery vanilla, then go with this. This is the opposite of powdery vanilla. It's more of a creamy balsamic vanilla, almost like the vanilla extract that you would use for baking. That's kind of what this smells like, with a little bit of a florally spice underneath it. It's almost too good to be true. As far as vanillas go, this is like the gourmandish vanilla without actually being gourmand. I mean, it's slightly there, but I love it. It is creamy, it is rich, it is sexy, it's alluring, really good. That's Mercedes-Benz Club Black. That could have easily been in the top 5. I had it in my top 5, but then I took it out. And then going into this, I didn't want to put it in my top 5 because it is brand new, and so sometimes I change my mind at the end of the year. Boss the Scent Elixir. Boss the Scent Elixir. The easiest way to put this is it smells like Boss the Scent Magnetic mixed together for the first like hour with Spicebomb Infrared. It has that kind of pink pepper sweetness that you get from Spicebomb. Mix that together with that kind of Maninka, almost dry honey-like vanilla that you get from the Magnetic. Mix those all together, and that is what you have with Boss the Scent Elixir. It's a really good fragrance, but again, I still need to get like a full year's wear out of it before I put it in any kind of like top 5 list or anything. With that said, I'm going to get in my top 5. They're not in any order, just like my moderators. I don't like to put an order because my top 5 changes all the time. Like next winter, it'll probably be 4 different fragrances. I know one will still be here, but that one, most wanted. I can't remember if I put this in my fall list or not, but I think it was Wanted by Night that I put in my fall list. I think that this one is better for the winter, even though this is a fresh gourmand that you can wear in any season. It is a night out fragrance, 100% for the spring and summer, but during the fall and winter, this is an anytime fragrance that you should wear more at night, but it is an anytime fragrance. As long as it's under like 50 degrees, you're fine. But it is cardamom, toffee, amberwood, a little bit of vanilla. It is a slight bit powdery, but not too powdery. Again, I don't like powders, but this is so nice. It is, again, a fresh gourmand, has some sweetness, some spice. It's gourmand, and when I say that, it smells like you could eat it. It smells like something that you could be baking in the kitchen. And I do want to let you guys know it's the best-selling fragrance over Armani's and Dior's and Chanel's at both of the Macy's in my area. That's how good and that's how popular this has become. If you haven't tried it, you need to get out there and try it. If you don't like sweet gourmand fragrances, then you probably won't like it, but I've always maintained it's one of my favorite fragrances in my collection, and that is one of my favorite for the winter. If I had to pick a season because of the vanilla and the toffee and stuff, obviously I think winter would be the best season for it. With that said, Emporio Armani's Stronger With You, absolutely. This is my favorite one in the line, even though the new Stronger With You tobacco just came out, and that's really nice. This is still my favorite one in the line. Strong With You absolutely is the smoothest, richest one in the line. It brings back that chestnut from the original, so you do get that nuttiness. And then you add in this nice boozy rum tone that you didn't get in any of the other ones. You still get that Stronger With You DNA, a little bit of aromatics, a little bit of vanilla underneath the whole thing, but it's darker, it's richer, it's a slight bit sweeter. You get the nuttiness, that booziness. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. Not only that, but it lasts like 8 to 10 hours and way more on clothes. I don't need to explain that to you guys. If there was one from the line, if you don't own any, that I would recommend picking up, this is it. This is masculine, but also sweet. It is boozy, but also smooth. I love the fragrance. I mean, it's really, really good. It's any of the Stronger With Yous, I don't think are an everyday fragrance, but if you can tell, I mean, I got this last year, and for a fragrance that you can't wear all the time, and that's usually only for the cool weather, I think I used a decent amount of it. With that said, we're getting into the third one. I put this as a designer, even though, because it is in his designer line, and even the private blend line, they kind of come across, because it's Tom Ford, as a designer at heart, but their private blends consider their niche line. But this is not that. This is in their signature line. It is Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. Somebody was saying yesterday, Tom Ford's Noir Extreme is like so good. Yeah, I agree. This fragrance has one of the most beautiful vanillas that you will ever smell, that you wouldn't smell in any other vanilla fragrance that's out there. It's almost like this elegant floral vanilla that you don't get in any of the other fragrances out there. It starts out in the first few minutes. It's like a spicy woodiness with a slight bit of this undertoned floral. You get a little bit of almost like a saffron-y spice and sweetness, and then that's when the vanilla starts to pop in. After about 5 minutes, it becomes a vanilla heavy fragrance, a little bit of a woodiness and a little bit of a floral undertone, but it's elegant, it is sexy, it is alluring, it is for a man, but it's obviously Tom Ford, and Tom Fords are high quality, smell great. I mean, all depends, but Really freaking good. This fragrance, Tom Ford's Noir Extreme, is another one that's like Stronger With You, absolutely, as far as how long it lasts. With Noir Extreme, this can be on all day. I would say it's more in like the 9 to 11 hour range. And you should definitely try it out if you haven't. You can find it at pretty much any Sephora's. They have them in almost every one of them. But Noir Extreme Parfum, if you like the opening to this, which is that woods and spice, the Noir Extreme Parfum kind of just extends that for the entire fragrance, with the vanilla being downplayed. But I like this one better because the vanilla is the main part of it. Going into the fourth one. This one, I just finally got a bottle in. I had a decants galore. I had like 4 different decants of it. But it was between this and Prada L'Homme Intense. And since I put Prada L'Homme Intense in my fall video, I figured this one would be in my winter video. It is Givenchy Gentleman Boisee. It is my favorite Givenchy Gentleman fragrance. I am not a huge fan of Iris, but there are 3 fragrances that I usually make an exception for that. As far as designers, Dior Homme Intense, Prada L'Homme Intense, and Givenchy Gentleman Boisee. This one is my favorite in the line because of the cacao pod. The cacao pod and ambery mixture that is in this, it kind of downplays, just like the Prada L'Homme Intense does, it kind of downplays that iris. While the iris is still there, it's not as prominent as what you would get in Reserve Privé or the Eau de Parfum, stuff like that. The iris in this is still there, but it's downplayed by a nice sweet chocolate mixed together with it's like an ambery chocolate. It is such a good fragrance. I mean, it still has that gentleman DNA, but if you just want that gentleman DNA, that's more for the night out, that is more for the cool weather, that you have this nice, almost chocolatey, ambery tone that is, again, smoothing out that iris. That's what you get with this. It is a woody, warm, spicy fragrance with a nice chocolatey, ambery tone, and it's fantastic. I didn't think I was going to love any of the Givenchy Gentlemans. The closest to a love would probably be outside the Gentleman line, Gentleman Casual Chic. That kind of smells like Lacoste Blanc Eau Fraiche. But that's the Gentleman only line. But in the Gentleman line, I've never been a huge fan of it. And to be honest with you, girls don't really like the Gentleman line in general. But this one my wife seems to be okay with. So I really like that fragrance, and which is why I love to wear it right now. This is my last one, and I didn't put it in the fall video because I remember saying that I was putting it in my winter video, and there's a reason. It's my favorite one from the line. It's one of my most worn fragrances. I have 3 bottles of it. It is Spicebomb Infrared Eau de Toilette. I could have picked the Eau de Parfum, but I feel like that one's more aimed towards fall. It takes out the tobacco from this, and it's a little bit more masculine than this, but this one, it's a cinnamon and benzoin balm. If you like cinnamon, you're gonna like this. Benzoin kind of has this resinous sweetness that you mix together with the cinnamon and just whack with a nice fruity red pepper opening. And then when you get to the dry down, you get a little bit of woodiness and a little bit of tobacco just mixing in there. But at its core, it is a nice, slightly fruity cinnamon and benzoin balm, and I love it. It is my favorite spice bomb by far. I know a lot of people would choose Spicebomb Extreme. I'm not a huge fan of that. Never have been, never will be. I actually like the Cremo version of that better, which is Cremo's black or spice and black vanilla, because it makes it less powdery. Again, I don't like powders that much, but Spicebomb Infrared, really, really nice. So my 5, again, Noir Extreme, Gentleman Boisee, Stronger With You, absolutely, Most Wanted, and Spicebomb Infrared. I know a lot of you guys would have automatically chosen 2 of those for me, because these 2 are almost gonna be on every time on my winter list. They kind of have to be for me for designers. But let me know in the comments what some of your favorite designer fragrances are for the winter. I mean, again, next year it could be completely different. Who knows? I mean, your senses grow, but for me, I know Spicebomb and Most Wanted are going to be on that list for at least 5 to 10 years. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure to check out the niche video. I'll be posting either tomorrow or the next day. Thank you so much. Peace out.